Bem-vindos! Ah, a bola! A bola laranja não tem pra ela. E quando ela entra na cesta, em português, ela canta. Como é que ela faz? Chuá, chuá. Olha, vocês sabem que a Escola Brasileira de Basquetebol foi reconhecida e admirada durante décadas. Agora faz um tempo que andamos longe dos pódios, mas continuamos a produzir craques. Nos fez falta organização fora das quadras, mas parece que uma nova era já começou, está por vir aí, estão por vir tempos melhores. Por enquanto, no comando de nossas seleções, os técnicos são estrangeiros, gringos apaixonados pelo Brasil e pelo talento de nossas cestinhas. Os três convidados dessa noite formam um Dream Team à beira da quadra. Um homem e duas mulheres com desafios diferentes, mas objetivos semelhantes. O primeiro chegou aqui em 2017 e depois de um hiato entre 2021 e 2024, ele está de volta, conquistando títulos como parte da renovação da seleção masculina. Nossa segunda convidada chegou há pouco menos de um ano para dirigir a seleção feminina e tem sido vitoriosa em recuperar a confiança das brasileiras. E a terceira coach de hoje tem só 32 anos e já está fazendo história como a primeira mulher a treinar um time masculino de basquete no Brasil. O meu querido basquete cearense, os Caracabaias. Então, vamos receber esse trio de gringos brasileiríssimos que suam a camisa brasileira. Alexander Petrovic, Polky Chapman e Helena Todorovic. Hi, Polky.
Hi.
Hi, Helena.
Hi, Gold.
Alexander.
Novembro.
Let me see if I get it right. Dobrodošli. Welcome. How do you three communicate with the Brazilian players? English is the international basketball language, Polky?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we're trying. I have to learn. My Portuguese has to get a lot better, but the primary language is English, and a lot of the players are trying to learn, and they're also trying to teach me, but primarily English.
You can have an intensive course at home.
Yes, I can have an intensive course at home. I have the best teacher ever, my wife Daniela, so she's going to make sure that my Portuguese is top notch.
It's the best way to learn a language. It's pillow talk.
Okay.
Helena, English all the way or already risking some Portuguese like passa bola, defesa?
I'm trying, I'm like Coach here, I'm trying to learn my best. Hopefully by this time next year I can talk to fluent Portuguese, but it's definitely using a lot of hands and just trying to explain. A lot of my players don't speak English, and they're having a course. I got myself a teacher to teach me. I think I'm going to be able to pick it up really fast.
You know you have to start by the bad words.
That's what I started with.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know already?
Yes.
Like the really hairy ones? Like
Yes, this is the third day I learned this one.
Yeah.
My players teach me, my Brazilian players teach me straight away.
Petrovic is fluent in portunhol,
Yeah.
mas você fala em portunhol até mesmo faltando 6 segundos para terminar com a posse de bola na mão, perdendo por um ponto?
Sí, eu preferisco desde el principio falar portuñol porque quiero estar muy próximo a los jugadores y al principio, como estuve trabajando 4 años en España hace mucho tiempo, me quedó eso español y cada vez cuando llego en Brasil incorporo más palabras portuguesas. Pero una cosa es importante, jugadores entienden todo que depende de ellos y por eso pienso que estamos en una sintonía. Y otra cosa, para mí es una cosa muy importante. Yo estuve trabajando en España, en Italia, en Polonia, donde llego quiero entender y quiero aprender el idioma, porque pienso que alguien que me da trabajo, yo debo respetar eso y por eso quiero en un curso hablar, en este caso, portuñol.
And it's very, e é muito simpático quando percebe que alguém está tentando falar a sua língua. Petrovic e Helena são da antiga Iugoslávia, um país que era um país muito interessante, era um líder dos não alinhados e que se fragmentou, se desmigalhou, se destroçou numa guerra terrível na década de 90. Mas antes, Iugoslávia teve um grande momento, Petrovic, em 1970, a Copa do Mundo de basquete. Quantos anos você tinha e o que aconteceu com você, com aquela criança, vendo aquele torneio?
Fue un mundial donde Yugoslavia cogió medalla de oro y yo como un ragazzo pequeño de 11 años estaba clavado por delante de la televisión y en aquel momento me enamoré de este deporte. Comenzó en una ciudad pequeña con la bola así solcino y después ya es historia. Jugó más de 150 juegos para la selección de Yugoslavia, participando en Juegos Olímpicos mundiales, europeos.
Helena, your family is from the southern part of Bosnia, isn't it?
Yes.
And you were born in 1993,
Yes.
which was the height of the war. I was in Sarajevo in 1994.
Oh, yeah.
Heavy stuff. But how did the war affect your childhood? You had to leave the country?
We left when I was 7 years old. We left Australia as refugees.
But Australia has a tradition of school of basketball.
Yeah, it does. Definitely.
They probably admired Yugoslavia in that school as well.
Yes, I think the whole world.
The whole world.
The whole world, even today, even today, everyone talks about, oh, what if today, at the Olympic Games, the whole Yugoslavia played together against the dream team,
Well,
and it's always the question. It's very interesting.
The Russians can say the same thing.
Yeah,
They got the
probably.
Lithuanians and Ukrainians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did come to Australia. Australia has a great tradition of basketball, and most importantly, women's basketball. When I came to Australia, all girls, they played basketball. They didn't go to volleyball like in my country, and it was a women's sport. Unlike it was very different in Yugoslavia. So all the girls played basketball, and this is the sport that everyone chooses, the popular sport, and everyone watches women's basketball. Lauren Jackson, the coach her, and she's a legend, and a lot of people to look up to in Australia.
A seleção brasileira masculina de basquete acaba de ganhar a Copa América. Cara, que vitória. E assim, foi depois de 16 anos de jejum e foi em cima da Argentina. Anda conosco. É como aquele slogan publicitário, né? Você pode comprar muita coisa na vida, vai ganhar da Argentina na final, não tem preço. Não tem preço. Priceless. A rivalidade Brasil-Argentina se compara de alguma maneira à rivalidade Sérvia-Croácia?
Bueno, en últimos años para croata es mucho más difícil competir con Serbia en el básquet porque después como comenzó la guerra y como Serbia cogió muchas medallas. Última medalla de Croacia fue en 95. Yo estuve como entrenador de selección muy joven, 35 años, y eso fue la última medalla de Croacia hace 30 años.
Okay, congratulations, you did beautifully as well. Silver, you only lost to the Americans. Huh?
Yeah, we'll get them next time.
Yeah?
We'll get them next time.
You found a scenario that needed some changes. How are you dealing with it? What have you changed in female basketball in the last year?
No, I think the biggest thing is the mentality, but also understanding that it's a process, step by step, paso a paso, is something that we're trying to bring to the Brazilian Women's Basketball Federation. There's obviously a path forward. We've watched what Petrovic has done in terms of integrating a lot of teaching with the younger players. We're fortunate because several players are at the universities and states, so they're exposed to so much basketball. And I think the latest thing has been the commitment from CBB of how they're infiltrating the money and the tools and putting it in the schools. I think personally it's a partnership that I need to have with CBB, but also the professional coaches here, so that excitement is there because we want to get Brazilian women's basketball top of the world. But we understand it's a process and everyone is bought in, and that's the thing that made Chile fun for me. I feel the passion, I hear it, I see it. So we're going to continue on that path.
When we were world champions with Janete, Hortensia, Paula, it was in Australia, but Helena was 1 year old. What is the major challenge to Helena? Being female or being so young, 32?
I think female is for everyone else. You know, it's a storyline. Sometimes it will outshine the fact that she's put in a lot of work, that she's experienced, that she's prepared herself for this moment. So I think that's for outsiders, but in the basketball world, she will be judged by those men by her knowledge and how she presents herself and how she handles tough situations. And I know she said she's going through a tough situation, trying to infiltrate some of her systems of play, but she will be judged on that. And I think 31 years doesn't mean you're inexperienced. She could have started learning basketball when she was 11 years old, so maybe she has 20 years of experience. So I think she'll be judged on her process and how she elevates them.
I've been coaching in men's basketball my whole life, and I'm always used to that there's not an exact space for me, or that everyone's always confused where is my spot, and I just had to make one for myself because I had no clear pathway of, like me growing up, there was not many people that look like me in coaching in men's basketball, so I kind of just went blind and made my own pathway, and then there were ladies like coaches like Becky Hammond that made this history and created a pathway as well. But in Europe, definitely not any. And Australia as well, there were some. But I don't like always everyone using the Coach Perkins said the woman emphasizing the woman. What is it? I'm just a coach. That's how I look at myself. Man, woman. I'm just a coach, and everything's treated. There's differences because there's many men that coach women's sports, but not other way around. So the psychology and that part hasn't been researched enough.
I hear that during the matches you kind of get very sanguine or very fierce. Ela é brava? Are you?
Well, look, I can't.
What kind of coach are you?
I can't help but come from my culture of these great coaches like Coach Petrovic and I learned. I grew up watching them. They were my idols, and I wanted to be like them when I grew up. I wanted to imitate them. Today, I said to my sister when I started, I'm going to be different because you can't yell anymore at players. I'm going to be different. I'm not going to agree with Balkan 100%. And the other day he said to me, you are Balkan 100%. I do like to yell, and I'm a very passionate, expressive person, so I can't help it. I'm just being authentic to who I am.
Can't deny your DNA.
I think so, yes.
Olha, mas it's not the first time that Helena coaches a male team. Look at that picture. Which team is that?
That's Red Star Belgrade, where me and my brothers played growing up.
So you were already leading the boys.
I coached juniors back then. That's how I grew up coaching juniors.
And why and how you started coaching your brothers and cousins?
I was the oldest out of all my cousins. I have 2 younger brothers, and all my first cousins are boys. And it just came naturally to me to boss them around and fight them and give commands, and they had to listen to me, otherwise I would beat them up. So, but we come again from my country, from our countries. Basketball is religion. And it's something you can't be explained. And our athletes, during the toughest times of our history, athletes were winning and being champions. And it's just we natural. My brothers, we all in my family played basketball, and I was the first to play as the oldest, and then I just started coaching them. And it was natural for me to coach boys. And that's how it just continued. It was nothing it just continued then, from coaching boys and juniors and going to senior basketball. I've never coached women in my life. I think it's a different psychology. I think I was very hard to coach when I played. and there's many different benefits.
I was a player, my brother as well is still a manager, and I think that basketball, it's, most of the cases, it's a family affair, isn't it? Is it in your case as well?
I think so. I think it's funny you mentioned family because I always think about my family as my mom was the head coach of the family. You know, my sister was the associate head coach, and I was the top assistant. And I learned how to assist, but I also learned how to lead at a lower level. And I think that was probably the best thing that helped me. I was fortunate enough to coach at Louisiana State University for a legend that was the Olympic coach in '80, the year we boycotted. So 16 years of assisting her who's at this level taught me so much. And it's been able to put me in places to have some success. And not just the success that's on the scoreboards and the medals and the championships, but just some success in planting the seed and the foundation for players beyond basketball. And that's important as well.
Não é a primeira vez, it's not the first time that coach